Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this look right here, which is a rose goldy kind of glam look, which you can wear in daytime or the evening time or wherever you want. But I purchased some new products recently and I'm going to be trying them out in this video. So if you want to learn how to do this look, then please keep watching. To start off with, I'm going to go in with the MAC Studio Moisture Cream. I used to use this a couple of years ago, or I think I used this one a couple of years ago. It was a cream from MAC that I used to use and I used to love it, but I wanted to try what else there was on the market, so I tried a few other products and I forgot about it, and then I came across it on my way to Sri Lanka, so I picked it up and I wonder if it has the same effect. Feels the same. Yeah, like this is exactly how I remember it. Yes. Okay, so that weird noise in the background is someone's blooming horn, which it's Friday night in the Philippines, and if you've ever been here then you know that it's so much traffic on a Friday night in the Philippines, everywhere, especially where I live, and everyone's blowing their horns and doing all that kind of fun stuff. Later on in the evening you're going to hear some great karaoke going on, which happens at the sports club behind where I live. It still drives me mental listening to all of that. Shh. They love a good ballad here. I don't know how many times I can listen to a Mariah Carey song, like everyone is singing it. Yes, okay, so now that feels like it's gone into my skin. Yeah, it looks exactly how I remember it. Before I carry on, I'm just going to moisturize my lips with the Fresh Sugar Rose Lip Treatment. It has a rosy tint to it, and it also hydrates the lips. It's quite nice. The foundation I'm going to be using is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation in Golden Tan, I believe. Yeah, Golden Tan. I haven't actually used this one on my videos yet, but let's give it a go. I don't go in and put loads and loads how you see normal people do. I say normal people, but the people on YouTube. I go in and put a bit of product at a time, and then I blend it out with a kabuki brush. This one is the Sigma F82 round kabuki brush. You can use whichever brush you want, however I do recommend a round kabuki brush because it just makes it much easier to blend. I find stick foundations really hard to blend with a beauty blender. What I like about this foundation that it's really easy to build up, so I can put a really thin cover on and then I can go over it and it won't look cakey. However, I did notice the last few times that I've used it that I have been looking cakey around the nose area, mainly because I've got some texture going on my nose. I don't know what it is. It's not blackheads, they're not white, they're just like bumpy bits on the skin which are really annoying, and they need to leave the house. I'm gonna put a tiny bit on my nose, I don't want to use too much. And foundations are personal preference as well. Some people like it to be a bit more full coverage. Oh, did you hear that? Some people like it to be a bit more full coverage. Some people like a very natural look. I like a bit of both. I like it to cover up enough, but not too much that it looks like there's too much under this. When I put foundation on, I don't put too much under the eyes. I'm just gonna dab a tiny bit, especially when I'm using stick foundation because they can be quite thick. And I'd prefer to go in with a concealer underneath my eyes. Can you see that finish? It's really nice. It gives a really nice glow to the skin. I'm just going to move my eyebrows into place just before I piss anyone off. For concealer, I'm going to be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the colour Ginger. This is a really nice colour. It's got a really nice mixture of like peaches and yellows in it. So for someone with my skin tone, it's going to cover up those dark circles and brighten up those highlight areas. I used to use the creamy concealer in the colour Custard, I think it was, and it just didn't have enough peach undertone to it, so it always made me look grey, and I used to be like, I hate this concealer, it's a load of shite. But since I discovered Ginger and even Biscuit is the darker colour to this one, so it doesn't have as much yellow, it's got more of the orange, which looks more natural, so it doesn't give you such a glam look. I can wear that on its own and just blend it out and it's fine for the day. But this one, what I do is I put it in my highlight zones, down my nose, on my cupid's bow, chin, and then I've got to get into these lines here as well. I know it looks like a lot, bear with me, bear with me. I'm just going to let that sit for a while, and what it's going to do is it's kind of going to settle into place And just before it dries, I'm going to blend it out so it kind of like doesn't move. Right now it's a tiny bit wet, so if I try to blend it out, it's going to shear out, which is quite nice if that's the kind of look you're going for. But if you want more coverage, I would recommend keeping it on there so it kind of settles in a bit. And then when it's almost dry, you want to blend it out just so that the product stays in the place that you want it to be in, rather than blending it out and shearing it out. It all depends on the amount of coverage you want. If you leave it longer, the likelihood of it just disappearing out of the planet of the earth in the middle of the day is like 0. And also I find that if I blend it out too early, it settles into my fine lines because of the thinner consistency, whereas the thickness of it right now, it doesn't look heavy once you blended it out. It looks much more crisp and it just covers up all those areas. While I'm waiting for that to dry down a tiny bit, I'm going to go in with another new product. This is Soleil Tan de Chanel. You've seen it everywhere, I'm sure. Now, I've tried to stop myself from buying this for many, many years. I didn't think I needed it, and I don't really need it. I was comfortable putting on a contour and then blending it out, or just using a powder highlight around the edges of my face. But I've started to want to have more of a dewy complexion, so it's not so dry, not so matte. It kind of looks like this, which looks like nothing when you put it next to my skin. It looks like it's not going to work at all, but it gives the most dewy and really natural bronzer. I know dewy is not the kind of word you're looking for when you want a bronze. It gives you more like a natural bronzer finish. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna put it on so you can see what I'm talking about. And with this, I'm using the same brush, Sigma F82. I'm just gonna pat it into the product like this, and then I'm gonna pat it onto my skin. Can you see that? It brings in some dimension to your face without adding a contour, which is something that I've been looking for months and months and months, but I didn't want to buy this. And then I went into a store and I smelt it and I was like, yeah, I'm buying you. So I put some of this in the hairline. Okay, I can see myself using this every day. It's really, really nice. Okay, now my concealer looks like it's almost dry. So what we're going to do, I'm gonna grab a damp beauty blender. One I've been using for the past few days, but psh, it's okay. That's why it's brown, just like me. Can you see what I mean? It's blending out. It's not moving from the place that I want it to be in. It's staying in this highlighted zone, and there is less pickup on the beauty blender. Ta-da! Right, there we go. Yes, to this coverage. It makes it look so beautiful and so fresh. Blend it all around. Can you see that it's kind of stayed in the same area? There you go. What I like the most about this color for highlight is that my chest area, I don't know if you can see it, is much lighter than my face. So when I put a foundation on my face that is too light to match my chest, my face goes grey. So I have to go in with a deeper colour, a more orangey colour on my face, just to counteract all those lovely dark patches that I've got on my face. And then with a highlight like this, I can brighten up the face just to match my neck so it doesn't look so brown and fair. What I'll do is I'll try and do a foundation video for people who have darker faces than chest, because I'm kind of a conservative person when it comes to dressing, and I tend to have a really fair section here. So I've had to figure this out for myself, and this is what works for me. So just going to set my under eyes with this Soft Focus from MAC. I love it because it's got like an orangey, peachy undertone to it, but it doesn't look orangey on the skin. It just gives that extra brightness and coverage. Now before I go and set the rest of my face, I just want to use one last liquid product, which is the Marc Jacobs Dew Drops in the shade Dew You number 50. It's a really, really beautiful liquid highlight. Now the thing I love about this one is it's a coconut-based gel highlighter. So what it does is, instead of sinking into those pores, it kind of like fills those pores almost. Oh, look at that. That's so nice. Blend that in. Oh, that's so nice for a natural highlight. It's perfect. Because it's a gel, it's not going to highlight your pores. It's just going to blend in really nicely with a foundation. Look at that. Another face product that I bought was the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in the shade Tantric. When I first saw this, I thought this isn't going to bronze my face for shit. And then I tried it and it looks so, so beautiful and natural. And it's so finely milled that it doesn't look like a powder on your face. It almost looks like a seamless matte finish. What I love about it is it's got such a huge mirror and it sits where you want it to sit. So if I want to open it that much, it will sit that much. If I want to open it like that, it'll sit like that, which is great. It's just perfect for traveling as well because it's so thin. Aside from the packaging, which is not the main reason I buy stuff, it glides onto the skin like a dream. So I'm just going to go a tiny bit over the Chanel bronzer and around the forehead and just around the perimeters of the face, and taking a tiny bit on the edge of the brush and running it down the edges of my nose. Now before I do highlight, I'm going to go on and do my eyebrows and my eyes, because I like the highlight to be the finishing touches along with the blush. I just find that once the look comes together, then you can put the blush and the lips on and then add the highlight at the end. That's just the way I like doing things. So for eyes, I'm just going to prime my lids with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I haven't used this in such a long time. Now the reason being is it can be quite drying on the skin. I haven't really done such full coverage looks, so I haven't needed to use such a full coverage concealer. I'm just going to go ahead and set it with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, my normal powder, which I use in medium tan. I'm just going to do my eyebrows and I'll be back in a minute. Now that my eyebrows are done, I'm going to go in and do my eyes. I'm going to be using another new product that I purchased recently, which is the Viseart Neutral Matte Palette, which is expensive, but it is well worth the price. You get 12 eyeshadows for $80 and they blend like a dream. To start off with, I'm going to be going in with the MAC 239 and I'm going to take maybe this shade right here. They don't have names as far as I'm aware. And I'm just going to pat this in to the brow bone. There is barely any kick up with these shadows. For the crease, I'm going to go in with maybe this shade right here, my new Sigma E25 blending brush. I'm just going to pop that into my crease as a transition. When I dip my brush in, there's no kickback. Can you see that? They're so beautiful. This brush is a little firm, so I don't think it's the best for a transition stage, for a transition shade. However, for a bit more detailed creasing, I think it would be perfect. Oh, there we go. I just used the next shade along, which is a warmer brown color. These are so good. I can't believe I've never bought a Viseart palette before. And then going in with this dark chocolatey brown color, I'm going to concentrate that right on the outer V and just swirl it around in circles, and it'll just blend itself out. Oh, would you look at that? Maybe I should zoom in. Yeah, it's a bit better. And the same on the other side. Just going to place it in the outer V and just go around in circles. I'm not moving the brush, I'm just circling it around so that the outer bristles can blend that eyeshadow in a bit more. For the eyelids, I'm going to go in with the new, they're not really new, they are like a couple of months old, they're old, couple of months old. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Stila Magnificent Metals, can't speak today, Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow. And then the rest is in French, so I'm not even going to try to attempt that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tiny bit and just apply it to the center of my lid. Can you see that? Wow! And before that dries, I'm just going to take a small duo fiber brush and just pat that outer side in. And just the edges, so that they blend a tiny bit. Look at that! Gosh, these are so easy to use. And they just vamp up a look so instantly. And when I say vamp, I meant glam. There's nothing vampy about this look whatsoever. I'm just going to go back in with the blending brush, no extra product, I'm just going to go in over the crease. Then taking the Perversion by Urban Decay eyeliner, it's just their black eyeliner, I'm going to tight line. My tight lining face is just so attractive. And then I'm just going to do the same on my waterline. God, this is so nice to look at, isn't it? I'm going to smudge that over the edge of the waterline a tiny bit just so that it gets a smoky look. Then taking any flat shader brush, I'm just going to go underneath the lashes and just blend out that pencil. And what that's going to do is like smooth out that lower line so it doesn't look so harsh. Makes it a tiny bit more smoky, but it also makes your eyes look a bit bigger. Then finally, taking a mix of those two browns, the dark one and the medium tone, I'm going to go in and just blend out that black liner on the bottom. I don't know what it is, I never always used to do this part. I just used to use the black liner and blend out the black liner, but I've noticed ever since I've started doing this, it just gives it a more finished, polished look. I'm going to quickly go and curl my lashes, put on some mascara, pop on some eyelashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just popped on a pair of flutter lashes in the shape Ashley, which look really nice and natural, but it adds a tiny bit of a boom. I'm just going to finish off with some blush, highlight and lips. For blush, I'm going to go in with this colour right here, which is from Tarte. I can't remember what it's called because I put them all into a magnetic palette, so they've all got magnets on the back, and I covered the name, which was genius of me. But anyway, it's almost like a natural pinky peachy kind of colour. I'm just going to pop this to the apples of the cheek and blend it upwards. Then for highlight, I'm going to be taking another new product. This is the Opha highlighter in Rodeo Drive. It's a really nice goldy kind of champagne-y colour. It's going to be bright AF. Woo! Look at that! Gives you such a nice wet look. I'm going to take that up and blend that in with the brow bone highlight. Just going to apply a tiny bit to the bridge of the nose. Cupid bow. Tiny bit above the brows. Chin. Oh, look at that. I'm excited to do more looks with that one. So, for what's left? Lips. For lips, I'm going to go in with one of my favourite lip liners, which is Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. It's like a genius colour. For lipstick, I'm going to go in with a new colour, which is the lipstick version of that beautiful colour. It is the Pillow Talk lipstick. Just going to spray that down with some Urban Decay setting spray. You see all those YouTubers that sit and flap when they've put on their setting spray. I like to push mine into my skin, just so it helps to blend all those products nice and seamlessly into one layer, rather than just sit down and go, no, not happening with me. And then sometimes, if I put a tiny bit too much on, I get out the hairdryer, and I know it sounds crazy, but if you just blow dry your face for like 3 seconds, it melts all the products together and it makes them look so nice. And that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, the button is down here. Down here I think it is. Comment down below if you have any suggestions of what you would like me to do. Follow me on social media channels if you want to, which will be in the description box below, and I will see you next time. Bye.